the thumbnail you put on your video could be the most important step that you do in terms of driving audience engagement beyond impressions. So the thumbnail, if it's so important, how do you make a good one? What tools do you use? What do you do? How do you stop people in their tracks? How do you create that thumb-stopping moment? So someone scrolling down a feed in YouTube or any other video platform, how do you get them to stop and tap and watch your content? We're going to create a live example for you using Canva. We love Canva here at Stream Tycoon. And we're going to show you how to do it and make it stand out from all the other thumbnails in the pack. Let's get into it. My name's JP, and if you want to make money streaming, you need to follow this channel. We are going to be growing our stream base with a bunch of how-to videos that teach you how to bring your A game to the streaming space and really stand out from the rest of the crowd. Today, we're going to be diving into thumbnails. How do you make a thumbnail that stands out from the rest of the crowd? So you need to do a bit of research. Have a look at the other thumbnails on YouTube. What are people doing? You need something that's not necessarily just pure design for design's sake. You want to have something that looks good, but at the same time, it needs to work for YouTube. So it needs to kind of be really clear in terms of what people are going to get. And there's 3 key elements you need to kind of look out for. So you want to have a nod to the content that you're covering. You want to have your face. So videos or thumbnails that have the face of the person in the video do command more attention. And the third thing you want to do is think about how you kind of show up with your color palette and how you show up with your words that you use, headlines and etc., and you really stand out. So it's not just about pure design and what's good design, but it's about really kind of that war and attention and grabbing people's attention. So we're going to dive in and show you this new style of thumbnail that we're making for our other channel, which is $1 Billion Haters Club, which is our kind of live streaming channel where we react to movie trailers and content and politics, and we just kind of put our opinions out there. So if you haven't subscribed to that, make sure you subscribe to that channel as well. But what I'm going to do is just dive into Canva, and we're going to do this on the iPad, and I think iPad's always a good demonstration. So if you can design and make something on the iPad, you can probably do it anywhere. But yeah, look, we're going to go in and, there's some templates that you can use, but we'll end up just using one that we've made before and kind of reskinning it for here. But I'll show you the templates that it actually does have. So if you go into the search bar and you type in YouTube thumbnail, or just thumbnail even, we'll do it. Hopefully I can spell. Of course I can. Here we go. So we type in thumbnail and you see this kind of wide format, and there's a bunch of different ones that come up here, and you can just pick one and edit it, change the colors, put your own imagery in, and that's really great, and that's a really easy way to do it. And you can see a bunch of those here too. Okay, but what we're going to do is actually go back to one that we've made earlier, which was based on one of these templates, and we're just going to edit it for a new video that we just made, which is a reaction to something quite ridiculous, a movie called Sky Sharks, which is just insane. So what I'm going to do is just talk about why we've designed this thumbnail in this way in the first place. And I think one thing to think about is if you kind of look at entertainment content or, reacts content on YouTube, everybody's kind of doing stuff in a very similar way. So they have a really big kind of hero image of the movie or the game or whatever that property is. And they'll have, they'll try and find something interesting in the headline. If it's Godzilla versus Kong, it's like, who will fall? Or you might find another way to kind of address that as well. So, it's finding those clickbaity type headlines, those points of interest that'll drag people in. But a lot of people are doing it in the same way. So how do you stand out when there's a world of other thumbnails there and you're competing against those to get people's attention? Well, one thing that's interesting is most people's thumbnails are in full color. So actually by doing something in black and white, you're giving yourself a competitive edge. You're standing out in a sea of sameness and zigging when everyone else is zagging. So black and white's actually a great technique for your category where you can really stand out from the crowd. So I'm bringing a little bit of color in here, and I think that's important. But even if I went all black and white, it would still do that job we want it to do, which is standing out from other thumbnails in the category. So I'll delete these elements and we can kind of bring them in from scratch. So one thing I find is great when building a thumbnail is kind of to have this this dual kind of image system going on where you have a headline that's clean and separated from the image or the content you want to create. Then you have the content you want to create as well. So in this instance, we've got a headline on the left. We're using our black and white color theme. And on the right-hand side, we've got our content image. So for this particular Reacts trailer, we are going to look at a movie called Sky Sharks, which I think is from the makers of Sharknado. Who knows? It's just a ridiculous movie. And yeah, look, first thing we'll do is just go to Google Images, scroll down and see if we can find something. We definitely want like high res. So good thing to do is tap on tools, click on size and click large, and that'll mean you get kind of bigger format images. We go down here and we can see, all these images here. So I quite like this image here, which is just basically a bunch of sharks flying in the air. It's kind of does the story. So I'm going to add that to my photos here on the iPad. I'll have a quick look down and see if there's anything else that kind of grabs my attention. This is a cool image. So is this one. Not as clear as to what's actually going on. We could probably use something like that. So it's definitely an option. I don't know. I feel kind of happy with that first image that we pulled up. This one's cool too. Actually, this might even be better. The shark looks way more evil in this image. So I'll add that to photos too. Great. So if I pop back into Canva, which we can do here. So now I'm just going to go to uploads on the left-hand side. I'm going to upload my media, select media from device, select media from photo library. And I'm going to pick two of these. And I'm going to add them to my library. So that'll just go and upload them. Oh, great. Upload error. Okay. So sometimes if you get an image that's embedded into a website, it's like I think it's a WebPH file, you won't be able to add that in, but that's fine. So one of these images worked and one didn't, and that's totally okay because we only really need one. Yeah. So this image here of the sharks in the air is great. Now we probably want to use more of this image on the right-hand side because we're only using half a frame and we really want that image to stand out. So we're just going to drag this across. I'm going to click position. I'm going to drop it to the back. You can see that here. Great. So that's looking really good. So, we've added that in. We've got an image that's going to grab people's attention. Now we need to come up with a headline that will grab people's attention as well. So this is obviously Sky Sharks. So we'll just go back. Sorry. Sky Sharks. So we just come in and we type something in here. Drag this down. And I think a title like, we could say something like, what the hell is this movie? And then underneath, we'll just clarify that with a bit more. I think a two-step headline's good because you've got this one thing that grabs people's attention and invokes curiosity. And then underneath, you've got a little point of clarification just to try and convince people to watch Sky Sharks. Great. So you can see here we've got snappy headline, we've got a unique color palette, we've got an image that's going to grab people's attentions and create that thumb-stopping moment. And then what I've also done here is just added our logo in the bottom right-hand side too. So what you want your thumbnails to do is you want to kind of be quite consistent. You want to build equity in them over time so people get familiar with spotting your thumbnail when they're browsing through YouTube or whatever platform you're using. So I think consistency is really key. Consistency of brand placement, consistency of color palette as well. So this is our thumbnail. We're pretty happy with this. We'll just go download. We'll get a PNG. We'll up the image quality size of it a bit. Bang, away we go. And that's downloading and we're away. So there you go. That was actually pretty simple, pretty easy to figure out. So we've created a thumbnail. We're now going to go and upload that to $1 Billion Haters Club, our YouTube channel, and that will actually really help drive more views and just kind of using the standard imagery that YouTube pulls out of your video and suggests as a thumbnail. So we've got something great here. Next thing to do is go and upload it, add our SEO terms and tags and keywords and figure out the best title and see how we start to perform. So this has been JP. If you want to make money streaming, stay tuned to this channel. And remember, we do have 2 channels. And Stream Tycoon is this one, and $1 Billion Haters Club is where we stream in real time. So we'd love it if you can follow both of those. And we really need some help because we're on our way to trying to get to 1,000 subs. So if you can help us get to that magic number, and that gives us YouTube partner status, we will be forever grateful. This has been JP. This has been Stream Tycoon. Peace and love to you all.